This isn't just a game. This is TNT. Welcome to the jungle and welcome to Ape Squad's Thursday Night Throwdown.
Featuring the game's top talent, pick up games where chimps become champions.
Thursday nights 8 to 10 p.m. every week, only on Ape Squad. Catch us live on air on Twitch at twitch.tv/ApeSquadOrg.
Welcome to TNT, Thursday Night Throwdown. You know what it is. I'm going to keep it short and sweet for you guys. Got these players want to jump in as soon as possible. Get this game ready for you guys right now. Soyo, I'm with my co-catcher Sonsoyo, by the way. How you feeling, Soyo?
I'm good. This is going to be the season finale, so the last episode of Thursday Night Throwdown before a big revamp and more stuff coming out soon for the next season. We got two teams here. We got Orgless versus Gorilla Mode. This is going to be hype. We got a huge match. We're going to go into our regularly scheduled program right now.
A really good player with that thing. Well, certainly when I went against him, he was giving us a run for our money with that thing. So, yeah, Nakaza, you know what he does with the goo gun and deagles, right? Also nice to see players, you know, switching it up over here on TNT. You know, different strats, different compositions. And we are here at Nizomi Citadel.
Yeah, we got Kazo on the goo gun. Like you said, bringing in something different, kind of the goo gunner of the game. Very well known for that. So we're going to be going ahead with an RPG. Doesn't get a big hit on that. And now Kazo has a great dome, but Mega goes down. No winch in sight. Camo dropping shortly after, and Polkia dropping as well from Akazu's side. We're going to see a reset from Graziv pushing forward, getting that reset on Polkia as they look to chase down that final player on Gorilla Mode.
And you love to see Polkia right there, peeling for Akazu right there, taking out the other heavy with that Matter. The Matter is insane against heavies. Let me tell you guys, Matter, DB, the shotguns on lights are really good on heavy. Pressuring, and as you saw it right there, Polkia just absolutely helping his teammate Akazu out there take out the heavy.
Yeah, exactly. And one thing to note is I do believe this is the full stack. I know you were kind of curious before, but I do believe Graziv is a full stack.
Oh,
I
nice.
Also am curious to see how Graziv performs on medium. I think he's been playing light recently, so it's great to see him on this medium once again. We're going to be setting up this goo position with all those power mines, kind of denying that space, but we do see an entry.
Graziv by himself, he can pat it on. He's in trouble. He's half health. He's got to get out of there. He's one bar right now. He has to run for his life. They're just empty, and yep, that is going to be a clean kill. You got Graziv on high ground by himself. Not the optimal position you want to be there. And now they are down a medium, and they have to see what they can do at the two. Big goo. Oh, and Kazo with the goo C4 play. Oh, good. That was just, wow, just holding it down with that C4 and that goo. Such a massive play right there. They were not expecting that. I believe he did have pyro mines on it as well, so it set off the goo on fire. So yeah, interesting setup there. They should have played that a little bit more safe, but hey, now they know, right? Now they know what they're going against. They got the goo, and then they got to get rid of the C4 and wait out the fire.
Yeah, I think this is quite a volatile setup. Their defense is going to be so strong, but they basically are going to have to win it at the vault fight. If they do end up losing that vault fight, they have a less utility, no RPG in hand, so that's going to be C4 and Pyro Mines, to say it said. But we're going to be going in for some quick entry damage as the Gorilla Mode drops down and plays for this forced point situation. He's going to start shooting the goo, and that's going to put him out of position there. Graziv gets some easy shots as Polka goes in and pressures.
Right, they want to get rid of all this stuff as fast as possible. There's not a lot of time left on point. So get rid of all that stuff, I think is an optimal play, but now they have to try to get a pick. There's not a lot of time, not a lot of damage on anybody. Damage comes out. Kazo takes out Camo with a fire mine. Mega in trouble now. Mega gets taken out. Now, Kazo gets by himself, also gets taken out, and that will be the first cash out for Kazo's team.
That's a huge win for Orgless over there. Gonna set the tone and show how niche and strong this goo gun can be. Again, the defensive setups can be super well done. And I know Gugun does have some potential. We haven't really seen anyone really push the meta quite like a Kazo, in my opinion, for this specialization.
Definitely a rather interesting thing to go against. Like I said, you want to try to knock out those protections, knock out the goo, knock out the pyro mines as fast as possible. So that if you can have time to jump on point without dealing with all that extra stress. But now we have point TPing. They're kind of taking a massive fight. Kazo in trouble. TP's away, and they're gonna look like they're going to imp on that TP. He knocks out Camo with some crazy shots with the pike. Mega now alone with Kazian. Polkia on 1 bar right now, in trouble. TTV Gracie going crazy on Mega right now with the pike. Pike going crazy. Kazian takes out Polkia. It's a 2v2 situation now. Now it's a 1v2 situation, and that will be clean house right there. Graziv grazing along with that pike. Just so much value on some nice angles right there, knocking out a lot of HP, and then finishing off those kills.
Yeah, Grizzy's gonna run this box all the way over, and this is quite dangerous for Gorilla Mode because as soon as this plug goes in, you know they're gonna be setting up this point, putting those pyro mines down, setting up the C4 and the goo, and that's gonna be very tough to take. Akazo getting there, not gonna have that much time actually because they do spawn in and they're gonna be gatewaying pad all the way over to this building. The setup is coming in, not gonna be able to get that much setup done before those shots come out onto Graziv. They're gonna push over and look for this.
Right, nice little commanding high ground position, just kind of waiting, seeing how they rotate in. We have team under cash out right now, making their way up to high ground. Orgless remaining on high ground, taking shots at Kazian. Kazian comes out, a lot of damage on Camo. Camo's in big trouble. Kazian also, the entire team is just getting defeated, unfortunately, and Kazian also gets taken out.
And they're going to take this. It looks quite commanding from Orgless over here. This crown on the cash out is going to help them protect their money. And now we're just waiting for this res to come back in, this respawn. You're going to have one more opportunity to take this. It's going to be a desperate one, but an opportunity at that.
Right, Gorilla Mode is not going to have much time, especially with all this goo. Like I said, they want to be aggressive on that setup, knock it out as fast as possible, and that'll be like their only kind of hope, to be honest. So I want to see that team get in there and just start not chipping away at their defensive.
Mega, Kaizen making their way up this staircase, going to be looking for some opportunity. Akazo and Graziv sitting on this vent. This is a great play. That pad is going to offer them a little bit of a sneak attack. Oh, Mega just barely doesn't see them. Same with Kaizen. They're just going to go for the steal. That goo does get dropped off. 4 seconds have passed as those Deagles come out. Huge damage comes out, and Mega at 1 bar does get taken out as well. Huge.
Like I said, if they didn't focus that, it was pretty much over, and look what exactly just happened. They try to force, and just so much damage with the pyro mines and the C4 combination with the blue right there. So, well played by Orgless here, taking his first game, 2-0.
Very well done. We do see 7 eliminations coming out from Graziv, topping his team, but shortly behind him is Akazo and then Polkia.
And that is something that you do need to focus here, cleaning up. As we jump into our second game of today over here at Sis Horizon. Sis My Horizon. I love this map. Always a classic. Always a good time. Got a little bit of action coming out with the pike. Camille being pressured with that pike, trying to return fire. No value. Camo in trouble on a bridge cross right now, and he's just getting pressured by Graziv.
Yeah, that pike is going in, and Akazo pushing forward, getting some big damage. Will it be enough? A dome comes out and gets instantly glitched but we're looking for the reset. The big C4 from Mega, huge. Gonna look to find a Kazo here. Kazo does jump on him and turn this fight around as Camo looks to peel for his team, blocking the winch in that goose. Smart play, but not gonna be enough. Polkia trying to find that value. Now we're in a 1v1. Camo gets the reset. Graceve also gets the reset on the medium and does do away, making the rotations out and out. 2v2 reset coming out.
And they do win the fight. Gorilla mode, going ape mode on that team right there. And now they get their first plug at Sister Rising. Well played. Getting the defibs off, getting trade defib. Unfortunately, Graceve got his light up. He probably would want to have gotten the heavy up for that extra HP. But yeah, things happen in certain ways, and maybe he wasn't able to get to the heavy's body, so went for the optimal, you know, anybody, you know, the light closest, so got the light up instead. Looks like the Chiefs can get a pad on over, kind of rotate in together, holding hands here as Gorilla team, Gorilla mode. Kind of holding high ground up here, waiting for them to rotate in. Kazian taking a lot of damage. He's one bar. He has to get out of there. But they turn on Polkia. Polkia falls down. That is a big trade right there. Kazo gets switched in. Kazo might be getting taken out here, but the goo is making him live. Eventually gets taken out there right there. Now it's received by himself, and he also gets taken down. It's going to look like Orgless is going to have one more opportunity to try to jump on this first cash out.
Yeah, and this is kind of the narrative that I predicted earlier on in this match. As soon as the Kazo team gets the vault fight and gets the plug, it's almost impossible to retake that. But as soon as we see Gorilla Mode get their cash out, they're looking decently strong. I don't think they've played against many goo gunners, especially with the Kazo strategy. I don't know if they know how to deal with that. But we do see another push come in. This is going to be the last push of this cash out. Akazo finds Kaizen early on, but does not get that much damage. Just a warning shot out there. We see Camo and Mega sitting a point below. It looks like they're going to have a double drop on this cash out with a pad, and it's going to be very difficult for them to take this. They're going to have to destroy that pad, and if we're planning ahead, it looks like we're going to see another drop come out, but no C4, just RPG going to come out, RPG that down, try and get the drop, and they do get the flip. No pressure coming out on that drop or on that steal. They do not have enough time to retake that. Honestly, you need to be playing for that DMAT. Camo needs to be a layer below or a layer above. Get ready to shoot them or drop it and shoot the player riding down. Just a little bit of mispositioning from their end to get that DMAT set for that stall.
Right, and I also think the initial drop was a little preemptive. They could have waited a little longer to have that drop stall with the pad. Because like I said, Akazo is on goo, right? So that means they cannot winch the point away, meaning that they could just theoretically sit with that stall pad literally to the last second. Likely that could be a lot more patient next time as Polkia takes out Kazo. What the matter? We have a 3v2 situation, lots of damage on Gorilla Mode. Mega by himself. He's going to be taken out very easily right there. And now they're going to have Orgless is going to have second point on defense.
Yeah, and they're gonna get a plug, and this is, if you're Gorilla Mode, this is a very dangerous situation to be in. You know the setup is so strong. How are they going to deal with it and adapt this time? Maybe Akazo has a little bit of a different setup. I've seen him move these boxes out, but I'm sure with that Pyromine C4 combo, he's gonna be going with a lot of the same.
Like I said, I think they should have waited a lot longer on that drop stall. I think they would have been fine. So now they're on deep offense, and they're going to have to change it. Kazo up there by himself. He's very aggressive. Tries to winch. Kazo blocks the winch with the goo. You love to see that. Well, time is played by Kazo right there with the goo. Blocking that winch. Now
and a massively early dome comes out from Mega.
Right, we have Camo two bar right now. Retwist being very aggressive, trying to get the rest of that kill. But now, all regen on both teams. Full up. Everybody max HP. Polkia in trouble. He's going to be half health. He's going to get away, though. Now, we have half point. We got unfortunately, Akazo takes out Cameo right there with the Deagles. Akazo by himself gets traded. And now Mega Lion. I don't think I think he wants to get out as fast as possible, but they're just gonna stall him definitely here and basically secure the second touchdown. Look at this blue stall. This is ridiculous.
Yeah, that's a huge goose stall. That's gonna be the game.
Massive. That is the game. Yeah, I mean it was game like 15 seconds ago before that, but yeah, Kazo really stalling out that last player with the goo, and it was just clinical stall by Akazo. You could just infinite goo them, protect yourself, and basically guarantee the rest of this cash out.
And more goo. Gonna be practicing his setup, getting familiar with the landscape. This is a great opportunity, and look at this, sitting outside on this wall. That
does not feel good at all. You feel kind of like dead weight there. It's like, what do you even do? I'm stuck. I mean, I guess you could try to get some SA-12 shots there, but you got two other teammates you got to deal with. Yeah, that was well played by Akazo. To be able to play these TNTs, we do send out personal invites to teams and such like that. You want to expand on that, Soyo?
For this season finale is coming to a close. This is going to be the last episode. There is no longer room for today's scheduled program. However, for future events, we are changing the format, so stay tuned for that and get ready for a way to get involved in next season's TNT coming next season in Season 8. So stay tuned. There's going to be open slots, open to the public. So
you could say there will be more stakes, right?
The stakes will be higher. The stakes will be higher than ever. This evolution
will be higher next season. It is an exciting time over here at TNT Pro Cats and Scrims. This is our season finale.
Going from plugs, pickup games to scrims. What will be next?
Right, exactly. We first start off with pickup games with the community. Now we've been doing pro tournaments with the goo and those goo stalls.
And it looks like Camo and Mega are setting up for a steal. They do go for the steal, not knocking that off. I'm surprised they aren't taking data reshape or any counter picking in this game. But Akazo gets taken out. Polkia going to be going after them in that dome, sitting in that heavy dome, and going to get some great shots, taking out the team with Graziv.
Like you said, zero counter methods for that setup. They really have to think about what their issue is, and like I said, it has a lot to do with the goo and the C4 pyro mine setup. So, like you said, something like a data reshaper could greatly benefit this team. Unfortunately, they're just kind of staying head fast and remaining to try to figure out the situation that they have. Now we have Orgless taking the first cash out of this game yet again. And now we have a spot on the second home as they're going to tap and try to rotate right now. I think they want to rotate A since it's closer. C is a little far away. A little bit more rotating to get over to C, so most likely going to head to A, start setting up over there. You see Akazo kind of getting a lot of space over there at A, taking high ground. And trying to get some pokes with those Deagles. So Zeef kind of remaining back on point. And they will TP the both over. Try to plug here. Guys, you're taking a lot of damage. Going to have to rotate out. The Pike is scary when you're a light. You don't want to face a Pike. So good thing rotating out, getting some different positioning. Volt is still not plugged, by the way. Volt is just remaining on height. Now Orgless gets control of the point, and they are rotating. Looks like they want to go C. Interesting play. I like this. Rotate the box over to C. You go for a goo pad, and looks like they have control over here at C now. Now Mega and Camo padding over, taking a lot of damage with those poke weapons. Eagles and Pike is tough. Winch comes out, but he gets deleted because he's taking out Mega. Camo taking Akazo. 2v2 situation right now. He's deep in trouble. Taking out Camo. And Kaizen ultimately gets taken out for the wipe. And now Akazo gonna head on over. You know what's gonna happen. Goo, pyro mines, C4, that's his bread and butter. That's the setup.
The whole kitchen sink gonna be coming out in full force yet again.
Exactly. He uses the goo to knock over the point on its stomach with the pyromine setup with the C4. So if you're on that, you just instant die. You instantly die if you touch those pyromines. No matter what class you are, heavy, you're dead.
And the shots come out. Camo taking some big damage with Kaizen there to H Infuser, healing back up. And now the rotation, the last point for Fortune Stadium. Going in. Grazeev gonna be sitting on this high ground. Gonna get whipped down.
Massive win right there. He gets away. Grazeev gets away. Oh, he should not have lived that. Unfortunately, Grazeev gets away from that winch play. Surely I thought he was dead. But he just
there's
slipped
no
away.
way.
Mega now in trouble. Mega's gonna be one shot. He's not gonna get away from this. He's gonna blitz, but Ultimate gets taken out by Akazo. That was 2v3. Kaizen Camo by himself. Camo looking for the fib. He's gonna run over, try to get this fib. Fibs him outside. Not the best spots for a fib right there. Can Mega make it out? Yes, he does. Not a lot of time on point. They're gonna have to be quick. They're gonna have to make decisions here. Okay, taking out Camo. Grazeev taking out Kaizen. Surely Mega does not get this. And Orgless taking game 3. Over here at 1480. That is 3 in a row. 2-0 games. Beautifully done by Orgless right here. Gorilla mode, unable to adapt to these goo plays. And yeah, that will unfortunately cost them their 3rd game yet again. Another game. Pokia remaining matter is a critical key component to this team comp as I'm seeing these games play out.
Yeah, I do think in this team comp, the matter is a great pickup because it offers that versatility just like an SA-12 would essentially.
Exactly.
But
dash
it's on the
around,
line.
get those, dash around, get those massive chunks of damage with the matter. So much damage, padding over, getting deleted as well with the Deagles, finishing off Kaizen. Mega by himself right now, 2 HP. Certainly he does not live this. Tries to go for a reset. Directly enough, when he comes out. Battle coming out between the heavy. Hulkin. Look at how fast that matter is able to just chunk out damage from the heavy. You saw that?
Yeah, that matter is a chunk and a half on that health bar. And we're I mean, it brings me back watching Viper T-Bobby use that matter in PHL, using it to effect. But I think teams have gotten a little bit used to it. So seeing how Pokia uses the matter here, and with this team comp especially, is definitely maybe a little bit more eye-opening. Grazeev gonna get pressured off this church rooftop, pushed down into the building of A. As we see Gorilla mode take the high ground and surgically make their way down from the top to bottom.
Yeah, Orgless kind of holding hands in the building, not giving away any position. They want Gorillas to make a play here with those pads, with those, with the Pyromine. They knock out the Pyromine C4, and they're gonna retake height. Kaizen gets taken out by Pokia. Now it's a 2v3 situation right now. We have Akazo's team, Orgless now on high ground. Gorilla, not a lot of time to try to take this point, so this will be a 1-9 situation. They have to make decisions. Lots of damage being just distributed amongst their team. That will be the team wipe, most certainly the first point yet again.
Yeah, and the same narrative continues from Akazo team, just dominant performance.
Right. And they didn't even want high ground there. They just, you know what? You guys can have high ground. You guys have church. They just want to kite and live their life, hiding away, and they're able to re-attack. Grazeev getting taken out on church right there. I don't know if they're going to have any time to try to take this because Akazo is still up, and there's so much stall potential that he has with that goose stall. Yeah, there's no time to try to take this at all. Even though they went straight for it, this is not going to be any kind of hope in that. So Kazo by himself, taking out Mega. What a crazy C4 play! Amazing.
A double kill from Akazo coming in full force. Mega. Triple kill from Akazo. Can he get the quad feed? Will Polkia let him? No. Does come out, and Polkia gets that cleanup.
Beautiful double kill with Akazo's equipment there, with the C4, with the Pyro Mine, using those to his absolute advantage and able to get that double kill. And now they have complete rotation with this second cash out, and most likely have another insane setup on point.
We do see a minor adaptation come out from Gorilla Mode, but it's small steps going forward to try and counter this. They're getting a little bit more weary of how to deal with this goo. Make sure you break that C4 and fire, and then reset. Try and regroup and reset and bait them out, because once that setup is down, their defense is kaput.
I wouldn't say kaput. Like we said, we have Matter in play, so that could be a very detrimental thing in the close range as they try to re-engage in the fight. Hypothetically, if those equipments are taken. Well-rounded kind of team, but we have Gorilla on high ground, on Church right now. Be kind of out in the open in that forest area, and looking like they want to decide how to approach this. Possibly pad over. Mega taking a zip line over. Grzeev by himself. Grzeev's in trouble. He's one bar. Is he going to get away? Gets HE Fuser just a little bit. Looks like Grzeev will get a free rotate out and regroup with his team. Cameo now padding over, looking for any kind of value, any kind of team. Point is now halftime right now. There's not any more time on this. It's going to be a one and done situation on this catch out, as Orgless is kind of hiding, kind of playing away, playing very patiently. Heisen in big trouble. He's half health. He's going to be chased down. Grzeev is in trouble now. He's going to be half health. Akazo takes out Heisen. That is a match for, yeah, now it is one by himself, Mega. And he's not going to have any time, right? And he will get definitely installed yet again on this play. Just look at this. What do you do? Like whatever. Yeah, you see for yourself. It's not like it matters. They're going to take game 4 convincingly with another 2-0 right here. I think Gorilla Mode took way too long to try to make a decision. They sat on Church for a long time with no value, and they weren't preemptive enough, right? You want to be in their face, you want to take a fight, take the fight, find out where they are, maybe bait them to point, but so much time being stalled out on the side of Kazo's team, the Orgless team.
Yeah, another dubski from Orgless. Look, somebody needs to sign them. They're popping off right here.
4-0.
Nah, but to be real, Akazo's been a staple of a name in the scene, streaming since day one. I remember watching his videos back in season 1, talking about the dog walker meta, making those hand-drawn graphics of how to play the dog walker meta. I mean, it helped me get ahead. Watching his videos really made me understand the early game meta, get ahead of most other people, because I know he was grinding the game. So shout out to Akazo for making those early games and sticking with the scene for as long as he has been.
We are concluding our first setup here on our finale here on Vegas Stadium, New Vegas. So I know Gugun's gonna go crazy on this map. That's for sure. That's one thing. Vegas is probably probably the strongest map for Goo. I would think so. There's so many like close range, like I don't know, bunkered up. How it is played here over at Vegas.
Gonna be setting up on this metal high ground, playing that pike, playing that position, and Grzeev gonna make that push over, gonna use that goo for his cover. Now rotating the box and making a speedy plug over here, dropping the box all the way down. Mega getting caught off guard. Will Camo be able to feel for him and get that
Matter,
both
dude.
get taken down?
the matter, just giving the heavies a run for their money, you know? Light is the heavy on this Orgless team here. So, love to see it.
And the beauty of this setup is that the cash out doesn't drop, so this goo will be able to linger just a little bit longer when this plane gets caught on fire. But Akazo setting up pretty strong defense to block any sort of approach here.
Right, exactly. Even if you try to break the wall and try to hit it from the other side of the wall, you're still going to have a mountain of goo to get to. Well bunkered up goo setup right there, and it looks like they will hold ultimate height on the dome right now as Gorilla mode. Approaching point, holding hands, being very aggressive on point here. Probably looking for where Orgless is.
And they get caught off guard. The firing squad comes out. Akazo, Grazeev sitting on this high ground, catching them right out. And now a big C4 comes out. Grazeev taking down to 1 bar. Mega, might he be able to get a pick on Polkia? Will he be able to? That matters. Going to chunk down his health. Will he start the regen? He does get Polkia and doesn't take any damage. That regen does get started. Grazeev gets the regen himself, though, and that's going to be a GG's for that fight. Moving on to the next fight on Cash Out A. It's going to be a little bit of a desperate one, a Hail Mary, but with all this goo setup, it's going to be very difficult to get in and push. Akazo going to be setting up a C4 on that roof to open that up. Not sure if those vents will be able to prevent that from opening or not.
Yeah, there's not going to be much time at all on this point. All of the goo kind of disappearing at the moment on the cash out. So it's now just a C4 exposing with the pyro mines here. There's not going to be any time. They just need to pre-detonate the point, and there'll be so much damage out just by the pyro mines to stall the rest of the cash out. Yeah, there's not going to be any opportunity to try to take this as Kaizen gets taken out by the FAMAS. The 3v2 situation right now is not looking pretty for the Gorilla team. Mega by himself yet again, trying to do his best with the winch and gets absolutely deleted. Team fight one by Orgless here. They're going to have a decent rotate on two. Going to get the tap. Not sure if they'll have opportunity for plug. It looks like B isn't too far away. Probably 80 meters away. So they might have a decent rotate over to the plug right now before the spawn. Oh, but Gorilla gets spawned. Gets a really good spawn, actually. And it's looking like Orgless is going to opt for Charlie instead. Gonna make a TP play over to Charlie. You have Gorilla mode on high ground, kind of holding height on that hotel building. And not to poke so much damage being distributed to Gorilla mode. But they will get a reset. Pad play comes out. Pad T potential play. They get TP over. Kaizen's in trouble. Polkia gets taken out by the RPG. That could be a big play right there. They have an Akazo peeling for his team. It's a 2v2 situation. Medium heavies on both teams. Both fights are taken out. You have a little bit of damage on both teams. Akazo stalling his best with the goo gun. He's gonna live. Mega gets taken out. Now it's Camo by himself. Camo's 1 bar and Camo will get taken out as well. Unfortunate for Mega. I mean Gorilla mode, excuse me. But man, those goos, man, could be rather annoying to try to deal with, if I do say so myself.
And here comes the setup right on cue. I know we said it every time, but yet another setup coming out. I'm not sure why he's crowning it like that, if not setting up some goo underneath, but there he goes. Right on cue, setting up that goo underneath, gonna catch that like a cradle and hold that baby of a cash out. Hold that money tight.
Right, there's not gonna be any opportunity. They have to get a kill right here. Kazu's in big trouble. Kazu 1 bar. He's gonna live. Kazu's gonna live. Less than a bar of health. He looks like he's 3 HP. A Grazeev is in trouble. H infuser just a little bit. Grazeev 1 HP. Kazu gets his regen. Not a lot of time on point. They gotta make a decision. Nothing died right there. That is a very big play. Nobody dying. Everybody staying alive. We're gonna have going for a take right now. Polkia takes Kaizen. Mega gets the trade on Polkia. There's a 2v2 situation. Defense comes out. Not a lot of time on point. Camo gets taken out by Grazeev. 2v2 still. Mega and Kaizen, can they hold it out for the team? Kaizen gets taken out by Graziva, just Mega by himself. He's gonna be taken out, and that is game 5 for Orgless. That is all 5 games. 2-0 victory for the side of Orgless. Well played by that team. I cannot believe Akazo lived that. Another, like, he was like 3 HP. You just need a spin on him or something. Would have died. He held off, stayed alive. Yeah.
That's a clean sweep coming in from Orgless. Fantastic to see Gorilla Mode come out and show out, give their whirl over on Thursday Night Throwdown. Hopefully we'll see you in the major. I don't know much about the team, but they all have the same tag, so hopefully they all signed up to give their best in that. So stay tuned for more from Gorilla Mode potentially. But as we know, I do believe Orgless does actually have a team set up for the major. So stay tuned for Akazo.
Welcome to the jungle and welcome to Ape Squad's new website. We've got tons of new features for you, including up-to-date weapon charts and our official Apes Pro Rank list. If you appreciate what we're doing, consider supporting the squad by checking out our merch and donation pages. We're also proud to reveal our ultra-high resolution, true-to-game, strategic maps. Keep an eye on this as we roll out new interactive features coming soon. Check us out at apesquad.org. We'll see you in the finals.
And welcome back to TNT Thursday Night Throwdown Procasted Scrims. This is our finale. We have our last 2 teams ready, rocking, ready to go. We have Retwist going up against the Steppers. We've had both of these teams over here respectively going crazy all season 1. I'm excited to see these 2 teams clash here. How you feeling, Soyo?
No, I'm super excited to see these teams duke it out yet again on TNT. We've seen them go back and forth in prior games, but this is going to be our little cap for the season to figure out who is going to be the crowning championship in this matchup. But stay tuned for next season. This ain't going to be the end of Thursday Night Throwdown. This is just the season finale, most likely, for all the lights.
Right, exactly. It did receive a small buff. Like I said, I don't
nerf.
Not nerf, excuse me. Small nerf. I wanted to see a little bit more of a nerf, but what was exactly the nerf? I forget. Like
it changed the fire rate just a little bit by like 10. And it basically does nothing.
Yeah, it's still a light deleter.
And by the way, every time there's a patch, check out apesquad.org for the updated gun charts. Any changes after the gun, stay tuned there. But a glitch comes out from Spawns, and Spawns gets taken out. 3-tap from the Pike and does get that reset. Ended up doming down and bunkering up in the Zombie Citadel building. We're going to be going ahead, getting that winch, those heals. Not going to be enough. Kip does take out Llama. Llama now down, out of the fight. Kip 1 HP, hiding behind that dome. Will he be taken out? Spawns can't find an angle, can't push him, but Brandy does finally get him and gets taken out by Zuki.
Right, that came down to the very last player on both teams. Zuki holding it down for the Steppers. We do see Zuki Suki, I think they're the same person. But filling in for the Steppers. Typically the Steppers have just Angel on light, but Zuki, a respectable player in the scene. Love to see how he plays with the Steppers here.
Interesting to not see them winch him off. I do think there's probably not enough time to get that. We're going to see Team Retwist go for that high ground. Going to take that pad to a escape to that billboard. Zuki took some big damage, but that regen of that light class is going to offer him the ability to get reset very quickly. Unfortunate, Kip and Zuki are rather split though.
Right, the steppers are kind of all over the place, holding a lot of space. As Retwist on high ground, we see spawns on the billboard. Brenny looking for DMAT plays. Llama just kind of sticking around, holding ground, looking at stairs, see if anybody pulls up on the stairs. Looking for any intel on both teams. Llama taking a little bit of damage by Unfortunate. Unfortunate, it's a little far, but he's going to look like he's going to rotate on back with the pike spawns. All of Retwist on high ground. RPG play comes out on Llama, no connection. Suki able to get away. Suki running away for his life. Gets shot up a little bit. He's still going to be running away, rotating, gonna get his regen. Unfortunate, on high ground right now, really good spot by Unfortunate. Retaking that high ground as Suki took a lot of the aggro there. Now Kip holding close to the point. Kip with his RPG out, looking for a play. Now we have not a lot of time here. Retwist has to make a decision. They have to find somebody. They have to get a kill. Spawn's in trouble. Spawns get taken out. Now there's a 3v2 situation right now. Llama trying to peel for his team. Llama getting a lot of damage here. Llama able to take out Kip. 2v2 now. Not a lot of time. Trying to get the flip. And we get the peel by Suki. Suki killing Brendy with Unfortunate there. Llama by himself gonna get taken out, and the steppers stepping away with the first cash out. Clinical play. Suki taking a lot of that aggro, trying to get, and then they were able to get high ground with Unfortunate as Suki took all that aggro, because Retwist really wanted to try to kill Suki and could not catch up to him. And that allowed Unfortunate to get really good positioning along with Kip.
Yeah, I think exactly what you said happened. We saw the steppers make their runaway, kite away from this team so well. They were so divided, yet it worked so well because they played peekaboo with every single one of their team members.
Peekaboo.
And now Llama gets winched in, and a counter winch comes out for Kip. And now Llama taking that first kill in this fight. Unfortunate, down to 1 bar. Llama taking him down at 1 HP himself, cleaning that up. And now Zuki versus Brendy, a 1v1 pulling up on the other side of the map. Zuki's just gonna look to reset and play for the coins, most likely gonna hide in this corner and just wait.
Suki's just going to play for the coins, optimal play, get his team back on his feet as fast as possible. Wiping here will be look, he sees a res. He's going to get a res. They're still probably going to burn a coin here just to give momentum here onward. We'll see how they try to approach this. Unfortunate is still down. Looking like they might want to get coins going for Unfortunate. Gets coin. Now all up on both teams right now. Rather convincing defensive positioning for Retwist. They have high ground. They have the bridge. Spawns being a little aggressive on Kip. Kip able to get regen by Suki. They're going to be very aggressive on Kip. Kip gets taken out by Llama with the RPG. Suki by himself over there. He's going to try to run away. He looks like Suki's going to be chilling right now. Suki gets away, and he's staying alive. Meantime, Brendy and Unfortunate are kind of duking it out on the side. Brendy taking a lot of damage. Llama and Brendy gonna get their regens. And it's looking like 2v3 right now. Suki and Unfortunate by themselves. I don't know where Kip is. I don't know if they're gonna try to play for coins. Maybe Suki's getting the res. They get the res up on Kip. All up right now. Unfortunate in big trouble right now. He's half health. He's gonna be trying to get his regen. Llama drops down but gets back on the zip line. Now they're being very aggressive. Steppers are stepping on over. They want to try to get a kill. Not a lot of time on point. This is a one and done situation. Kip taking a lot of damage right now. He's going to be taken out. Llama getting taken out. Trades on both heavies. Suki going to be kind of like...
There's no way that Llama won that. That was crazy. Going face to face with Kip against his whole team. And Kip now in the crosshairs again. Brendy gonna get damaged. Gonna be moving in. Unfortunate. Now half HP does get that regen to reset a little bit. It looks like Retwist is a little bit taking a lot of damage. It's gonna be Brendy left. This could be detrimental. Brendy just needs to rotate back, play stall. You have the time, you have the ability. A pad comes out underneath that cash out. Unfortunate. Looks for that push, but that stall gonna be a little bit too much. And wow, the script almost flips there. We saw Retwist looking so commanding.
Right, exactly. Steppers were not able to step on over as fast as they would like to. The pad stall coming in critical by Brendy, stalling the last little bit of that cash out. Sometimes all you need is your medium, right? When it's not a lot of time like that. The pad stall is very strong. So unfortunate. The Steppers weren't able to conclude the game with that, and we are going to a third and final cash out. We have Retwist rotating over aggressively to the middle building as the Steppers have control of the flank. Winch comes out, misses. Big RPG play by Kip Kip, taking out Llama right there. Brenny also half health. This is half health. He's gonna get regen. Brenny, 1 bar. He's running for his life. He's gonna have to try to live here, get his regen, and get back on his feet. Steppers now have a massive advantage right now. Gonna have point control and rotate box. They're gonna get initial plug and setup. Brenny looking for some back shots with the pike. Not gonna get any. They're gonna get a free rotate over. Steppers are looking. Oh! At the pike! Not the best pathing on Suki right there. He should have been a little bit more safe on that rotate. Pike is just so strong. Now it's a 2v2 situation right now. Kip dome shield comes out. Spawns. Not a lot. He's gonna be getting his regen. Now we have a 2v3 situation. Retwist all on their feet. Kip's in trouble. Brendy's in trouble. Gonna get the kill on Kip. Now it's just unfortunate by himself. By the way, the plug is still not plugged, so that's not bad. That's not all too bad. So Retwist is gonna get the plug. Amazing play by Brendy. Peeling off and killing Suki on the rotate over. It was a massive play. And now they're gonna be able to get. Yeah.
That pick early on really swung the fight in their favor and making sure that they could not get the plug. And now, gonna get the plug set up again. Huge flip over there on the side of that plug in that vault fight. Really taking out even from the behind.
Massive pick on Suki. That pike is so dirty. I would have loved to see a better rotate on Suki. Be a little bit more safe. Man, that pike, when it's in play, anything can happen, especially when you're alive. A lot of damage coming out, but they're going to get their regen. Both kind of holding high ground right now. Steppers are trying to step on over as Retwist commands high ground here.
Kip pushing a little bit up aggressively, but I don't think the enemy team knows he's there. Gonna break that C4, bait that stairway potentially is what he was thinking. Does not get a good position on that, but this gateway gonna drop right on top of Kip. Gonna get very little value. Llama takes some shots from Unfortunate, but they did end up getting that stall. Unfortunate takes the gateway himself. Brendy pushing up on Kip. Will he find the damage that he needs? Does get the stall and backs away instead. A huge RPG. Kip taking down below half HP. Suki not there to heal him, but Llama now fighting Unfortunate face to face. Kip comes to steal. This is going to be anyone's game. Kip 1 HP. Spawns gets taken out. Unfortunate does find Brendy. Brendy could have taken that fight on Kip, but runs away instead. Doesn't know the health call out. His team is not calling that out. He should have known to go for that, but he ends up going for the stall instead.
Yeah, we still have a 2v3 situation right now. Retwist has 2. Steppers all on their feet. They have to try to get this point. Not a lot. Winch play comes out. Llama stalls point. That is 1 stall. They're going to go for the flip. They probably have to stick here. Try to bait them as fast as possible. Goose stall comes out. They get the flip. Incredible flip by Kip right there. Llama gets Winston, and the Steppers will take game 1 of our finale in over here at TNT Thursday Night Throwdown. Let's go. That was an amazing fight right there by both teams. Not gonna lie, that, like you said, could have gone either way. But the Steppers were able to get that kill on spawns, and that was basically the last cash out there. Retwist tried their best to try to last second stall with the winch, but it's just not enough when you don't have your light, and they're just down by numbers. And that is just an amazing way to end game 1 of our finale here at TNT Procast and Scrims.
Yeah, look at the scoreboard. Unfortunate topping 10 elims, really popping off for his team, showing them, carrying them to victory. On that last play, though, could have gone either way. That pick on spawns was huge, really made them panic, but the damage call out, not calling out Kip's 1 HP was detrimental because Brendy had a face-on fight with Kip. He could have taken that shot, but ended up going for that goo instead. We saw a lot of poke fights early on, kind of break out around those vault fights. Will we see the similar narrative as we saw previously on this map?
Hard to say. Potentially. We're going to have to find out as these teams spawn into Fortune Stadium. second match of the set here. Both of these teams proving volatile. They are going crazy here in the TNT Procasted Scrims today. So we see,
we're going to see a little bit of a stalemate. We see Retwist take this high ground. I don't think they want to give it up for this tap. It's going to be a little bit of a snail's crawl. Spawns does end up go for it and is able to rotate back to his team. I don't believe he has a gateway on that point, so they're going to have to go regroup and get that themselves either before or after this fight, whatever happens. Early shots come out from Unfortunate, using that pipe to almost take out Spawns.
Yeah, look at how the Steppers are playing. We have Kip and Zuki like kind of holding hands as Unfortunate, trying to get some side shots, get some angles, in big trouble. Able to take out Spawn. Suki gets out Spawn. Big play. Llama getting the trade on Suki. Unfortunate on Brenny. Now, that will be a clean house for the side of the Steppers. Steppers will have control of the point and rotate in.
Yes, gonna get that plug over on B, and not sure what their go-to setup is on this point. Probably gonna be winching out into this courtyard is probably going to be the best play. The winch coming out does get a little bit hung up on the edge, but eventually makes its way over into this courtyard.
It's looking like
Retwist spawning in.
Yep, spawning in, trying to rotate in. Bonds taking a zip line, trying to get some high ground. TP play, Llama getting deleted on a TP play. Bonds also taking quite a bit of damage. We have Retwist a little bit in trouble right now, but it's looking like the Steppers will just hold on to high ground right here. Optimal position, right? So you don't want to give up that high ground. Kip kind of winching point over. Even more, Kip's going to be in trouble. He's going to rotate out. Spawn's taking a little bit of damage. Not too much happening right now. Kip in massive trouble right now. He's going to be 2-bar. Kip trying his best to live here. Llama being very aggressive. Llama taking out Kip. Suki peeling for his teammate. Able to take out the heavy as well. Both teams down heavy. Kip comes out for Retwist. All up on Retwist. However, massive trades on both teams. It is a 1v1 situation. However, the defib comes out. Wait. Kip holds it down on the defib play. Well played by Unfortunate. Able to get Kip on his feet, and that is what won them the fight right there. Most certainly, they take this first cash out.
Honestly, they didn't have to put themselves in that situation. Kip being a little bit greedy, trying to winch that point out to that courtyard a little bit further, almost costed them the entire cash out. But they do end up winning it on the account of that winch and that defib coming out from the other team.
Yeah, Kip trying to live, but didn't work out right there. But good thing Suki was able to pull and get that kill on Llama as well, trade out the heavies. But now, no time. Looking like Retwist is going to cut their losses, hold positioning in the middle of the map, and rotate to the next point.
Point over on Hospital. We're going to be going back. Retwist padding back from their spawn, going all the way over to Vault 2. Has the ability to get that plug. This Vault most certainly is going into A, no matter who wins it.
Right, exactly. It is so close. It is just one singular rotate over. However, it is on Hospital spot, so you got to get it over there. It's looking like they want to take the team fight before they move the box. Not sure if they have a TP on it. Let me see. They do not have a TP on it, so they're going to go for the first team fight here. Whoever wins this fight will get the plug. It's looking like Retwist holding stairs, holding hands, as the Steppers are holding ultimate height right now, and they're just gonna wait and be patient. See what Retwist does. Massive RPG.
A winch comes out from Kip from Llama and pulls Kip in. Llama gonna get that pick. Spawn's gonna get taken out from Unfortunate. We do see the Steppers have the control of the high ground. Brendy and Llama regrouping. Zuki looking for a little bit of an off angle, kind of protecting that body as Brendy and Llama probably position for that coin in from Spawn. Spawn's going to probably spawn over on 2 as long as the Steppers don't push over there to be able to rotate this box over if he wants to. again, depending on the position, I do think it's going to be over on that hospital. Fight breaks out. Brandy's in trouble. Llama in trouble. And Spawn's just spawning in. Not enough time to get to his team. And that's Brandy down. Llama going to be taken down shortly after. Spawn's trying to deny this rotate back over, slow them down so his team can respawn. Not sure if he's going to go for the death or going to wait for that coin. He opts to go to die instead of waiting and potentially getting staggered.
That was an enormous fight right there. That fight took so long to settle in. However, the steppers are going to walk over the point and get the initial plug here and have a defensive edge.
Zuki going to be running up into this high ground. We do see Brandy and Retwist make their way over and look to retake this high ground. A block from that RPG comes out. And now a glitch. Nothing. They rotate away and look to recoup their team. Brandy gonna get winched in and taken out rather quickly. A winch comes in from Llama. Kip in trouble. They need to get this pick to make it an even 2v2. Unfortunately, it does get taken out. Now it's just Zuki just left. And Zuki chasing down Spawns does end up getting the kill to one bullet.
Yeah, Suki holding it down for his team right there at the end. Able to get the last 2 kills with that 9-3R and took that ego chow against Spawns and was able to win it. And most certainly, they just need to play safe, kite this point, and they will get the win for this game. However, Retwist most certainly have another opportunity to try to retake this point.
Gonna drop it down, set up a C4 spawn and winch it out into this little foyer situation.
Amazing spawns. Retwist gets on high ground with a TP play right there. They're looking for the steppers. They're trying to get some intel. Not a lot happening. Unfortunately, gets a little bit. Unfortunately, in big trouble. Unfortunately, gets taken out with the 9-3R. And now it's just Kip and Suki by himself. Suki gets taken out. Kip by himself. He's not going to be able to do anything. And the Retwist will take this point. Unfortunate got taken out so fast right there. They just needed to play their lives and they would have been fine. And now they're in a bad spot. They're not going to have any time for this second cash out. And it's going to go to a third and final cash out here at Fortune Stadium.
Kip waiting to just throw that dome in case he does get found. Plays his life and waits for his team to recoup. This is going to be the third vault, just like Satan said. We see Retwist make their rotation over there as Steppers follow shortly behind.
Awkward spawn for both of these teams. However, I would say Retwist has an advantage holding that middle high ground. Llama over there by himself. He wants to take that 1v1 against Kip. RPG is out. Kip taking so much damage on the crossover. There's no match, no nothing. He has a grapple. He has a win, so he just got deleted out of the sky. And now, unfortunate, is by himself. Gonna have to probably play coins yet again. And Retwist will have the plug right here, advantage.
Yes, this box gonna go the way of Retwist. Not sure where Zuki and Kip are going to be spawning in right over there in that corner. Going to be able to regroup rather quickly, but going to rotate over to this hospital point. It's going to be very dangerous for them.
Yeah.
Zuki going to gateway pad all the way over here. Zuki gonna make his way up over and with his team. Kip walking over, looking for an opening. Unfortunate, does get some early shots down. Kip dropping up and putting that RPG right in front of Brandy's face. Llama now pressuring Zuki, gonna get that pick, and unfortunate making his way up. Gonna get that 3 shots. Spawn taking that 1, 2, 3, but unfortunately, not enough.
I believe his name is Suki, not Zuki.
That is Zuki on his alt.
No, it's Suki, bro. It's Suki. Stop. We all know it's Suki, not Zuki. The rebrand. It's his new name. Gotta, you know, put some respect on the name. You got Suki crossing on over by himself. Gonna get his TP and get his friends on over. Not a lot of time on this point. It's gonna be 1 minute left. They have plenty of time, but not a lot of time. They're gonna have to make some decisions here. We have Retwist on high ground, RPG out on Llama. RPG comes out, no connection. Llama gets connected with its RPG. Spawns healing up just a little bit. All up on both teams. A little bit of damage. Not a lot of time. Gonna have to make a decision. Looks like about 25 seconds or less. Drop stalls come out. Looks like they might want to set up a pass stall. There is no pass stall, unfortunately. Taking a lot of damage as well. Final stall comes out. Steppers are gonna have to make a play on. This will be the game. Kip trying to make a play on Llama. Not a lot of time. Countdown's coming out. It's looking like Retwist will take game 2 of this set, and they will. Yeah, I think the Steppers took a little bit too long on that final cash out right there. They couldn't find any intel, couldn't get anybody dead, and unfortunately, Retwist takes game 2, baby. We're going to a third game. 1-1 right now. We saw the Steppers take the first game at Nozomi Citadel, and now Retwist taking Fortune Stadium.
Yeah, gonna go back to back, taking this game, going forward, and now Retwist does get their map pick. Llama, 7 kills, almost topping the leaderboard. Zuki with 8 kills ends up topping the leaderboard, but it's not gonna be enough. Yeah, I think the only time we've seen LH1 in PHL and or TNT would be on Monaco. So, like you said, big changeup on Bernal.
Exactly, as we head to Mexico. And we do see Kip on the winch remaining on this map.
Yeah, and to
Rather
me, it
strong spawn.
really depends on the points you do get. Initially, I would say Winch might be a little bit of a stronger pick on this map because we don't have the circle point. The point over there on Church can be a little bit more of a mesh situation because it's already set up for that drop. But we do see this vault being opened. A TP opened up. Spawn's gonna go grab that, but may get caught off guard from Kip. A weird RPG coming out. Maybe he just missed it, but Brendy fighting Kip head on. Kip's team not in sight currently. Glitch is coming out, trying to offer any support they can. Gonna get back at heals coming his way, resetting Kip, and now we look like we're in a stalemate.
It looked like Kip was ready to set up for a 3v1 right there. He was like, give me your whole team. Poking out, Brendy poking out. Spawns, however, a lot of damage on Kip now. Kip's gonna be taken up by the LH1. Now 2v3 situation. Brendy's in trouble. Brendy gets taken up by Unfortunate. 2v2. Now there's a 1v2. Suki by himself, and that will be the rest of the team. However, they're gonna get another fight going because look how far these points are. You have to rotate all the way back to grab that point, and now you gotta go another 200 meters to either of these points. So, rather far distance. They're gonna try to go for a reverse TP, try to move it as fast as possible, but I'm willing to bet the Steppers are gonna spawn and step on over anytime now.
The spawn comes in. They get to spawn over near this triangle building. And the gateway pad comes out. Kip now mantling up. Make has been a little bit off guard. They opt to throw that point and give up on it because Spawns got taken out.
Spawns. And that was a 2v3 situation. Retwist kind of running away now, trying to play their life. Llama half health, wants to get his regen. Going for high ground plays here. Probably going to sit back and play safe. Steppers are going to walk point over. Like I said, they stepped on over. There was plenty of time to get that TP play. Brendy in trouble, gets taken out. Suki 2-bar. He's going to live. Llama looking for a clean kill right here. He gets 2 of them. Llama with a double kill. Kip trying to get that clean up. However, he opts for a res. Optimal play because Spawns did just spawn in. Kip taking a little bit of damage with RPG, with the LH1. All up on their team, by the way. Get defibs. This is a 3v3. Anybody's getting. Suki gets in trouble. He's going to get taken out. Kip's now in trouble. Kip getting turned on. Unfortunate. Taking out Spawns. And now is a 2v. Up. They get the defib. It is a 3v1 situation. Unfortunate. It's going to run off. Wow. Well played by that coin with Spawns. Certainly, I thought the Steppers were going to be fine, but they were able to get Fibs up and the whole team up. So now, Retwist, able to still cash out and get commanding position on high ground. Unfortunately, trying to take a little bit of shot. He's in trouble. He's going to get away. Half health. He's going to have to keep running. RPG, not an optimal RPG. Now he's down the RPG. He doesn't have his util. Not the best RPG by Llama there. I would have saved it, but however, it's okay. These are pros. They know what they're doing. Now Retwist is going to back up. Llama's in trouble. He's going to get shot down a little bit. 18 comes out on both teams. Now it's a 3v3. Steppers are stepping on over. They want to be aggressive. They want to find a kill. Not a lot of time on point. You got about 25 seconds left on point. Brendy going for a TP play on height. Unfortunate. Going for a flip. Spawns heading on over. Spawns in trouble. Llama and Brendy on high ground. Have a good position right here. Kip's half health. I'm not entirely sure what the play is going to be here. There's not a lot of time. They have to be aggressive on point. Retwist is playing clinically. Flip tries to come out. It's not going to be enough. Winch comes out. Stalls. Wait, they might get this. They might get it. They get it! Amazing play by the Steppers right there. Llama not able to get the stall on the point as I think he winched Hip instead. And Unfortunate was able to get on the point immediately after.
Fantastic steal. We saw Kip hop on that point. The winch came out just a second, literally just a second too early, offering enough time for Kip to hop back on that.
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah.
The seconds of difference between these teams and these cash outs is immaculate.
Yeah, that came down to the wire. Let me tell you. Well played by both teams. But the Steppers were able to come out on top with the last second still. Spawns taken out Unfortunate with the LH1. Suki peeling for his teammate. Now it is a 2v2 situation. We have Brenny and Llama going up against Suki and Kip. Kip gets a res. All up on both teams right now. Spawns gets defib. All up right now. Healthy. Spawns needs a little bit of regen, but he'll be fine. He's walking in. Gets his regen. All up. Max HP on both teams. They're trying to look for Suki, looking for a back. RPG comes out on Suki. However, he'll go away by the sliver of his teeth. And he is going to live. As Retwist has high ground right now. They're going to just kind of chill up here, make the Steppers step and make a play. Steppers are kind of trying to figure out, recuperate, figure out how they want to approach the situation. Point is tapped. Brendy in big trouble. He's going to be one bar right now. However, Ape's user goes crazy, and Llama takes Unfortunate out. Now there's a 2v3 situation. Steppers are in massive trouble here. They need to either figure out how to get him to stay up. Llama's in trouble. Gonna get taken out by... Wow! Kip going crazy with the SA-12. However, it's not gonna be enough. And Llama and Spawns will clean up the game.
Yeah, what a crazy fight. No team wanted to make anything happen until that RPG came out and Zuki got away. That kind of really was the catalyst towards that fight. And now Team Retwist does get this plug. Hopefully get a winch pad and set this up all the way over towards that building, because that's definitely the optimal setup you want. This courtyard amphitheater is not going to offer much protection unless you winch it over to this Via building. Great setup, and now we're posted up on this high ground. Spawn should have just been on that head glitch. That beam going to come his way, 3-tap him out of this game, and that defib to reset Spawns is going to bring his team back together. The force box coming out from Kip may get glitched from this. Doesn't even care. He's going to go for that dome anyway.
Held that, but it worked out. 2v3 situation right now. Brenny and Llama on high ground by themselves. Llama opts for a drop. They get the flip. Now it's just Brenny on high ground with the pike. Stepper's gonna step. Oh, Llama going crazy. Getting a kill onto Unfortunate. 2v2 situation now. Kip and Suki going up against Brenny and Llama. Brenny looking for a res. That is not going to be good for the Steppers. All up on the side of Retwist. Brenny gets max HP. Actually have help from the AP user. Now Kip is going to be dove. Kip trying his best. Not going to be enough. Gets taken out so fast. And Suki probably wants to play coins here. Unfortunate coins in. It is a 2v3. Suki Unfortunate going against the entire Retwist right now. We'll see how they try to approach here, whether they try to get a res or wait for a coin. Suki wants to be aggressive here, maybe try to find a kill, but gets taken out, unfortunately, by the LH1. And now, unfortunately, it's by himself. they're not in the best shape. They might just give it to him. That will be the second cash out, and we'll go into a third cash out over here at Bernal.
Yeah, these games are going down to the wire, back to back. As we said, it comes down to those small, tiny moments, especially with these teams. Such high skill, bringing things down to the wire. Every little mistake, every little moment counts. As you can see, it comes down to those little, silly little moments of those goose stalls, the retake, the damage, mispositioning just barely is going to make the difference in these cash outs.
Both teams with decent spawn on this third and final cash out. They're going to want to fight. Steppers on high ground. Pike's trying to do a lot of work. Llama's in horrible shape here. He's going to be taken out. It is a 3v2. Suki takes a lot of damage. So does Spawns. It is a 3v2. Brendy gets taken out by Unfortunate on a diff on the Pike. And Spawns is just going to run on over and wait for his team to get on their feet.
Yeah, and this is a very difficult vault fight to lose. I think they should have played a little bit more conservative, because if you do lose this, it's going all the way over to A. A very hard point to take, especially in this meta. Pikes, 93R head glitches, LH1, you name it. Anything is going to offer the range capabilities to defend this cathedral, this church over here in
This is
Bernal.
the final boss of the cash out. Let me tell you, Soyo, church is very difficult, especially this specific cash out over here on that height. We have Steppers on ultimate high ground, taking a lot of damage here. They're going to be chilling, all up on both teams. Max HP. Kid Tip's a little bit in trouble, but he will get his regen up. And it's looking like Retwist is trying to get a backdoor on an elevator play. Spawns being very sneaky on Suki. Suki presses him off. They trade high ground positioning here. We have Retwist trying to play a TP here. We'll see how they do it. Spawn's taking a lot of... Winch comes out, taking out Brandy. Massive take. Spawns is in trouble. He's one bar. He's probably going to get away. He will. Llama going for a res right now on his teammate that just got taken out. He does get the res. All up on both teams.
Yeah, and Spawn's going to try and recontest that high ground. A fight breaks out. Unfortunate does get taken out into a 2v1, and now a 3v1 for this whole team. A Winch. Llama gets that Winch, but that dome going to prove difficult to get behind. Spawns, Kip. Spawns does end up making that clutch, bringing this into a very dangerous situation if you are the Steppers.
Yeah, Spawns with a clean double kill right there. So they're going to have control on Church. And it's got to be tough because now they have LH1 in play, right? And LH1 is a really good gun to have on this Church. So it's going to be even harder for the Steppers to step on over here. Super going for a TP play right here. Gonna TP his team in. We have Steppers under the point. They gotta be very aggressive, trying to knock down the point as fast as possible. Go for a flip.
This is not looking very good. They do get maybe on it, but no, not enough time to get on that. The stalls would have came out in good favor for Retwist there. Huge comeback, may I say, from Retwist, really clutching up that second box and making their advantages go into this game.
Retwist takes game 2. It is a 2-1 situation.
Game 3.
Excuse me, game 3. They're taking, it's a 2-1 situation. We had the Steppers take game 1, and now Retwist taking the last 2 games. So certainly back and forth, as we saw even on this specific map here in Bernal. It was going back and forth. As we see Llama, 11 kills, 7,000 damage. Llama holding it down for Retwist. So, yeah, well played. I mean, across the board, both teams are going like insane. The optimal weapon, right?
Yes, very unfortunately. I do think if you just change the fire rate, tweak it a little bit, you'll bring it more in line to where it needs to be. You need to have it not be the best TTK up close, but it definitely needs to be the best TTK at range, offering that long range consistency.
Find that middle ground.
Find that middle ground. There is plenty of room for it in the TTK graphs. If you want to check that out, check out apesquad.org. under the wiki section, you can find the gun data tab, which gives you an interactive graph of all the TTK's DPS for every weapon in every class. Or use exclamation point gun data. Steppers gonna grab this cash box. Kip money in hand, as Unfortunate and Zuki get jumped on. Kip gonna peel back for his team, look for that dome and protect. But Retwist playing their time, backing up, not gonna go too aggressive. They did use an RPG, grabbing the money themselves, sneaking it like a thief, grabbing it, pickpocketing the Steppers, and going for that cash out A.
Right, we have Retwist commanding position here with the box. They do get the plug. Kip's gonna be in big trouble. He's gonna live by the skin of his teeth. He is too far right now, but he's gonna get his regen BR. Llama's in trouble now. Llama's gonna live as well. Get away. Unfortunate gets taken out by Spawns with the 9-3R. We have Kip half health. He's in trouble. This comes out. Llama's in trouble. Llama gets taken out. Brenny gets taken out. And it's just Suki by himself, able to be taken out there. And Retwist will win the first team fight and get the cash out.
Yeah, this is a very pivotal moment in this narrative moving forward. Almost halfway done, 45 seconds in on this cash out A. Gonna set up a fire barrel alongside those C4s. That's gonna, if it doesn't get removed, it's gonna set the cash out on fire. We do see the Steppers spawn and Spawns sitting on high ground. Not gonna get any value there. Doesn't peek, but that gateway comes out from Suki, rotating his team over to cash out A. Llama does get found. Kip, winching him in, gonna take him out with Unfortunate. That dome shield gonna offer great value on Kip's health, but it's not gonna be enough. We need to see a pick come out. Brandy gets eaten up by Zuki, and now Spawns. Zuki with a double kill over there on the other side of the map, securing their team this cash out.
Yeah, Steppers will most definitely step away with this first cash out onto A. Well played, well executed on that retake. Able to take out some players and able to get the rest of that point. Well played. Now they're going to kind of rotate over to Dome, get some positioning on for this next vault. Retwist kind of padding on over onto height, maybe get some back shots onto the Steppers. RPG is out, looking for a massive RPG. Misses the RPG. Winch comes out. Heavies are in trouble. Spawns gets taken out. Both heavies are going crazy. Kip wins that gunfight against Llama. And now it is a 3v2. Spawns gets taken out, leaving Brendy by himself. And Brendy will also get taken out. Steppers winning their team fights. They want to go, even on this. 2-2, going to game 5 with 2-2. And Steppers really wanting this match. I know the Steppers love playing on this map specifically. I would say this is probably their strongest map. They probably, have a lot of time and a lot of different executions on how they play this map. So they are feeling confident on this map choice.
A gateway coming out. Steppers rotating all the way over to C. Retwist sitting on this metal and rotating over. Gonna miss that winch. Llama now gets winched in himself, gets taken out. Crazy turn of events from Kip winning that fight because of that missed winch.
Yeah, we have Retwist backing up as much as possible. Spawns able to get his regen. We have a 3-2 situation. Steppers want to step over for the rest of these kills. Spawns just kind of hiding. Brenny peeling for his teammate. Kip's in trouble. Kip's going to be taken down to half health. Suki's in trouble. Suki's 1 bar. Wow. Retwist is going crazy against this 3v2 situation. They're going to wait for their coin. Llama coins in. Llama on the way. And now Retwist is back on their feet as the Steppers plug in this second cash out.
Gonna look for that setup. Does not winch it out of that hole. That's gonna be maybe a little bit of a blunder to bite them in the butt. Not getting it over these rocks could prove difficult for that defensive play. Brendy gonna be taking some massive shots from that ARN.
Takes out Spawns with the bike. Suki 1-bar RPG, but he's gonna be okay. He's gonna get his regen. Kip's in trouble. He gets winched in. He's gonna be okay. Falling back, trying to reset with, H Infuser comes out onto Kip. It is a 3-2 situation. Brendy and Llama falling back. They want to wait for the coin yet again. This is going to be one and done kind of fight here. Spawns is going to come in, and they're going to have one opportunity to take this point. And that will certainly be the game if they don't. So we have Spawns coining in. Spawns being aggressive right now. Spawns taking a lot of damage on the crossover. Spawns is in very deep trouble right now. Spawns might get taken out. Spawns gets taken out by Suki. However, Llama peels for his teammate and taking out Suki as well. Now Brendy's 1 HP. We have a 2-2 situation. Steppers are stepping over, being very aggressive on Llama. But Retwist gets all up on both teams. Llama gets taken out. Brendy gets taken out. 3-1 situation. Spawns by himself. Steppers are gonna step away with this second cash out. We're going to a game 5, 2-2, back and forth. We love to see it. However, Steppers looking really good on Vegas. This is their map. This is where they like to be.
Clinical game and fantastic fight. Going down to a 2v2 situation there, Steppers really pushed the narrative, making their entry in that fight, securing their 2-2 situation into this game 5 run.
I applaud the Steppers for their efforts there. They held it down, were able to stay alive. Suki feeling for his teammates. Man, this is some high-level gameplay right here. Both of these teams going crazy right now. Look at these damage numbers. It says it all on the board.
Yeah, let's take a look at these damage numbers. Brendy with 0 kills. Not looking too fancy from Team Retwist on Las Vegas. Steppers really
Vegas,
showing out.
Yeah, this is the map for Steppers. Vegas, this is home field. Home field advantage. You know, this is the first game we kind of see like the lopsided kind of scoreboard here. But the previous 3 matches were absolutely neck and neck, and it's so exciting to see what this final map is and this final map choice, to see who will take the 3rd game, or the 5th game, excuse me, but 3rd win of the set. And we head into Sis Horizon game 5 situation here. Steppers, Retwist. Love to see it.
And now an early spawn goes the way of Steppers. They do get the tap and are going to make their way over into this red room to take a head-on assault with Team Retwist. Going to be waiting and buying their time. An early dome comes out from Kip, trying to make a little bit of a prediction there. Doesn't end up in his favor. Both teams off of the staircase.
Suki getting taken out by Brendy on the side.
Getting taken out, and now we see the Steppers on the back foot, missing that winch. Kip maybe finding his footing just a little bit, and now Llama taking a head-on assault with, unfortunately, he needs to take out this medium. That heal's coming out brilliantly from Spawns. Brendy is able to clean everything up.
Yeah, Suki being taken out so fast by that pike. Like, you blink and you miss it. Like, that pike is so strong against lights. Like, that pick was able to win them the fight most certainly onto Suki, leaving Kip and Unfortunate by themselves. And that was just clinical inting by Retwist, taking out the rest of that team. But we have Steppers spawning in, looking like they want to go for a TP spawn here. TP play. Padding on over. Suki in massive trouble. Suki gets taken out again, unfortunately, by Spawns, leaving the Steppers down a player yet again, and then they fall like dominoes immediately after. Yeah, Suki needs to get in and get out. Being the first one to die on your team is obviously not going to be the play. When dying so fast like that, you need to have your team, able to push in with you. So play a little bit slower, you know, maybe take better angles, better positioning on next time, and they'll be all right.
Yeah, if the light gets caught out early, it can be detrimental for their team. Not having those H1 infusers is going to be massive. But Zuki,
again,
unfortunately, because he had the gateway in, and everyone knows these spawns so well, he's going to be taken out. There's not much he can do there. He's going to be caught out in transition, but now this
Kick turning it around, killing spawns. They get a defib up. Llama it is a 2v1. Defib comes out for Retwist, 2v2. Again, unfortunate hold down. Oh, that was so close for the steppers. That could have been close. Kip turning it around, but so much damage was laid onto the steppers that an overwhelming amount of damage. So unfortunate they weren't able to hold that rest of that down, and Retwist will certainly take this first cash out of this set.
Yeah, unfortunately, the defib sickness, they're not going to allow him to reset, unfortunate, and get that health back up to full. The spawn's going to come out yet again. They have no opportunity to even go for it. So looking for a reset to red room might be the play. It really depends on where this gold spawns.
Llama being aggressive with an RPG. Massive RPG gets winched in, however. Now Llama's in trouble. Llama going to get taken out. That was a little bit too aggressive there, but it was certainly a play. Spawn's getting pressured. Spawn's getting taken up with an RPG. Brendy by himself. He will most certainly die here. And now the steppers walking over to the second cat vault and tapping this. They have a decent rotate potential over to B, because C would be a little bit more further away, just a little bit.
Yeah, C's a little bit of a hike. That gateway may get them that early plug that they're looking for. Gonna get them this vault win advantage. It looks like they are gonna get it because Brandy and Retwist spawn in red room quite far away.
That was a not the best spawn for Retwist right there. Now they're gonna have to walk on over to the steppers and try to figure out how they're gonna approach the situation. Llama taking a lot of damage. Spawn's also taking a lot of damage. Glitch comes out, no connection. Now they're waiting for their regen. Retwist gonna play their regens and then re-engage here. We have steppers holding high ground rather convincingly, trying to take these angles. Spawn's trying to get some chip damage here onto Kip. Kip's gonna be okay though.
Yeah, this is gonna be a little bit of a difficult push to get over there. Spawn's gonna look for an early pick, but not gonna find it. Llama dropping down, playing this low ground. It's best advised, but RPG comes out from Llama. He needs to look to transition over to B and push in close. This long range fight looks like it's not gonna be in their favor as Llama gets winched in. A big damage comes out towards Kip.
Llama's in trouble getting taken out from the side. Heavies get traded out, however, it's a 2v1 situation. Brendy by himself. Both teams opt for defibs, but it's a 3v2. Llama and Brendy going against all of the steppers right now. Llama's in trouble. He's going to get Winston taken out immediately. Brendy's in trouble. He's going to be taken out as well. Steppers need one more stop here to take this cash out.
Yeah, and that would make it going to a cash out 3. A winch setup coming out from Kip. Gonna knock this cash out towards the edge of the map. Standing up is going to offer a little bit of cover for anyone trying to take it. Unfortunately, it's going to try and knock that down. He may just cut his losses, however, because the team Retwist getting a clean spawn. They're going to have a line of sight on this cash out, but they do move out. And it looks like 15 seconds left, counting down second by second, making their approach over. It's going to be a Hail Mary if they even want to go for it. Spawn's trying to find anything, but it's not looking good for if your team Retwist right now. It's gonna be going down to cash out 3 on Sis Horizon. Kip gonna take a little bit of damage. Spawns gets found as well, takes a 1 hit from that pike. Gonna reset. Brendy getting winched in, that goo coming out, not gonna block him, but Kip gonna push the aggression towards Spawns now. Spawns gets taken out and just Zuki versus Llama. 1v1, Zuki may bait out the res, try and go for the reset as Llama goes for the same. A winch comes out, unfortunate. Getting yoinked in and taken out. That reset meaning nothing. We see Spawns grab a body, look for that reset, get his full team up. And Brendy gonna use his coin instead, opt to use that. I think, is that gonna be that's gonna be his first coin For a second there, I thought it was he had very little. May have been a visual bug or just a misread. But going into this, the early tap comes out from Retwist. And now they're going to be in control of this high ground, moving their way in to cash out 3. Steppers going to just posture up towards Red Room, going to keep the cash outs to their back and just sit tight and play their time.
Yeah, Steppers getting position and advantage right here onto D. He's probably going to wait, make the Steppers make a play. Make Retwist make a play. Spawns heading on over. Probably going to get his TP going. Gets the TP going, but he's in trouble. He's going to probably play Slave. Llama taking a lot of damage as well. He's going to be taken down to half health. Trying to potentially plug into point, but it's not working out. Looks like they're going to rotate over to Charlie. Spawns with a decent rotate here. Going to get the plug. Wait, he misses the plug!
Hands. Did you see that?
Yeah, what is happening? Wow. Now, Llama's in trouble. They did not get the plug. Unfortunate, taking out Spawns. It is just Llama by himself.
This is looking rather dangerous for a Retwist.
Yes, it is.
Bit of a blunder there. They did try and everyone's missing the box right now.
Everybody
not being able
is.
to dunk it. First,
box is cursed.
Llama missed the cash out on D, trying to throw it in there. Then it bounces all the way over to cash out C. Spawns tries to make the toss in, misses it again, and to boot. Kip looks for that little layup and misses it, and finally gets the dunk.
Incredible set, right? Like set of plays right there. Both teams missing the cash out. Kobe. They need to work on their, free throws. They need to work on their shot. Anyways, taking a pad play. Brenny taking a lot of damage. Unfortunate, in trouble right now. He's going to be taken out on half a bar right now. He's going to be taken out with ease. Now it's just Kip and Suki by themselves. Looking for any kind of, value here. They're just going to cut their losses and try to get the coin going because there's no time on this point. That is so unfortunate. That unfortunately got taken out so fast right there. Getting patted on like that.
And that's going to be a retake from Retwist. Going to move over towards the side of the building. Let Kip look for them and posture up on this high ground. Llama on this staircase. Hopefully he doesn't get found. Kip has his RPG out. Both heavies now. RPG out in hand. Spawns gets found. Going to take him down to 1 bar left. Brandy takes an RPG, but it's not going to hurt him that much. And we're going to look to force the point.
They might get it. No, they get off last second. Unfortunate. It's 2 bar right now. Spawns is in trouble. Llama's in trouble. Kip. And unfortunate, take out both. Brandy by himself. Kip by himself. And Kip's not going to have any time. Stall comes out. That came down to the wire. And Retwist takes game 5.
Wow. Oh, down to the wire in the last game. Dominant performance in Vegas from the Steppers, but Retwist really turned that around in this game.
Unfortunate, getting taken out so fast on that final cash out was detrimental to their team. He got patted on and just obliterated. He should have been more aware of his surroundings and lived. However, Retwist able to retake that point and guard it and stall it to the last second. Look at this scoreboard. This is nasty. Both teams going back and forth on this horizon. 7 kills. Brandy Llama 5. Spawns with another 5. And if you look over to the Steppers, unfortunate 5. Suki 3 and Kip top fragging with 9 kills. Amazing final game of this final grand finale here at TNT. Love to see these teams. Love everybody that pulled up and came out to hang out with us today.
Yeah, and thank you for tuning in. We're going to be going with a raid. We got tons of announcements. Yet again, Ape Squad Worlds, September 11th is going to be the NA and EU qualifiers. We still have spots open, so if you want to sign up, go to apesquad.org and sign up there. And on September 13th is going to be the clash of EU and NA duking it out in one 16-team bracket from the qualifier rounds and duking it out for the prize pool, for the 3v3 crown. And yeah, always check out apesquad.org, sign up there, and thank you. I'm Sonsoyo. Satan, got any last words for the season finale of TNT?
This is TNT Thursday Night Throwdown. Love you guys for the whole season. Everybody pulling up and watching us. We appreciate you guys. And like I said, we got some more cooking in the bag for our next season. More stakes. Gonna be way better, way higher vibes here. So stay tuned for the next season of TNT.
Thank you.